in the Bhagavad Gita, and also in so many of the scriptures, in the Upanishads, in the Vedas, the scriptures are filled with different ways of reminding us that everyone and everything in the universe is pervaded by the divine. So he said, well, so how is that possible? If there's only one God, how can everyone be God? So it's a beautiful question, because a lot of people misunderstand Hinduism as a polytheistic religion, that we believe in many gods. Then those who understand a little better say, no, we only believe, or they only believe in one God with many forms. But actually, the highest truth is, what we really believe is, there's nothing but God. And so it's like saying, imagine you have the ocean. How many waves are possible on the ocean? Well, if the ocean were actually infinite, which would make this metaphor perfect, if the ocean were infinite, there would be an infinite number of waves that the ocean could have. Some small, some large. If the ocean were infinite, then there's an infinite number of waves it can have. In the same way, if there is nothing but God, everyone, everything is, you can think of it as a wave of that ocean. If you take a spoon or a cup or a dropper of water from a wave, you go back into your laboratory, you put that water under a microscope, and you say to the technician, what is this? He'll tell you what? Ocean. He's going to look at that and he's going to say, ocean. He's not going to say wave. Ocean. The highest truth of every wave is ocean. Yes, at that moment, there is also, simultaneous to the permanent truth of ocean, there is a temporary truth at an intersection of time and space that we call wave. But the highest truth, the permanent truth, is ocean. In the same way, each of us, at this intersection of time and space, there is a temporary truth that says, male, that this age, this name, this culture, this body, this height, this weight, this story. Female, this height, this weight, this story, this age. But ultimately, our real truth is divinity. Like the real truth of the wave is divinity, is ocean. And that's why when we go within ourselves, when we talk about our soul, spirit, consciousness, whatever word you use, it's divinity. We don't have to wait till we die. It's not about dying and going back to divinity. The wave does not have to stop being a wave in order to start being ocean again. Even while it's a wave, it's still ocean. It just happens to be ocean that at this moment is having that form. In the same way, we don't have to die to go back to being soul or God. We just have to recognize that this body, this story, this identity, this drama is the temporary form that we've taken of the permanent truth, which is God. And there's two extraordinary outcomes of that. The first, of course, is enlightenment. Right? Doesn't get any better than that. Thich Nhat Hanh, the beautiful, beautiful Buddhist sage monk, said, enlightenment is when the wave realizes its ocean. So when we realize that about ourselves, on not just an intellectual level, but the real deep level. You call that awakening, enlightenment, whatever word we use. But there's another beautiful benefit for the world, which is when you realize that about yourself, you also realize that about the rest of the world. So it's not, oh, my highest truth is God, but your highest truth is waveform. The minute I realize that this wave's highest truth is ocean, well, I simultaneously realize, well, that's true about every wave. I don't have to relearn it about every wave. In the same way, the minute I realize it about myself, I realize it about others. Which means that the way I move through the world changes drastically. I'm no longer interacting with individual dramas, stories, bodies, pocketbooks, bank accounts, titles, masks, roles. I'm interacting with divinity. And this is where our scriptures remind us over and over again. Tread lightly. Take only what you need. This does not belong to you. This earth is divine. This earth is God. This is not yours to use and abuse and discard. Tread lightly with those you interact with. They are the divine in different forms. So first have the awareness of the self. And then you realize that that then transforms how you interact with the world. So when you realize nothing but God, then even as our population explodes and explodes and explodes, well, since that ocean is infinite, an infinite number of waves, but all one. Ultimately just one ocean.